welcome back to the Mr. Arsenal podcast for another match day watch along. Today we are doing, there's obviously two watch alongs as you can tell by if you're new to the channel or not. Two streams are set up. This is the first one, obviously. It's Chelsea women versus the Arsenal women in the FA Cup 5th round. Usually these teams don't meet until semi-finals or finals, but for some reason, for the first time ever, they've decided to put big teams up against each other, and that's two to meet. It couldn't come from an Arsenal perspective, form-wise, performance-wise, couldn't come at a worse time. Last game out before the international break, as the girls come out now, we lost to Man City away, which has now put us in 4th in the league outside the Champions League spots and way off the title race now, in my opinion. And we still have a game in hand, but yeah, it's going to be a very interesting situation. We're just getting the teams up now as well, or Arsenal team anyway. Shock horror though, Mr. bloody Jonas, after my critique of him for the last couple of games of putting Leah, doing the experiment of Leah Williamson as a midfielder, might work for England. Doesn't work for him because he doesn't have a clue what he's doing. He's now put her back into the defence. Get my words out, it'd be fantastic today. If you're on the channel, do smash that like button, do subscribe, and do share the content around. And get your score predictions in as well. As the teams are coming out, as I say, for this big fixture, it does look like it's going to set out again. As always, these fixtures are. No matter where the fixture is, it's always a high sellout. Right, here we go. We've got Zinsberger in goal, Vetvire, fullback, right back, what you want to call it. Leah Williamson, Raphael, centre-back pairing, it should be, because that's our strongest pairing. It makes sense. Steph Catley's at left-back. Then Leah Wolsey, Kim Little as a pivot with Madam just in front. And she's been absolutely smashing it this season. Kate McKay playing right wing, by the looks of it. And Cindy Blackstenius down the middle, Caitlin Ford down the left-hand side. And on the bench, while my bird's going mental, why is it all coming alive? Everyone comes to life. We've got McKersey, the goalkeeper on the bench, backup goalkeeper on the bench. BT, with Moy, Malitz, Pelova, Carl, Gio, and Adjumans are all on that. That's our bench, basically. For anyone that doesn't know, the reason why the players like Leah Hurling aren't in the matchday squad because they got picked up an injury. International break. Shock horror. Anyone that's in decent form for us, even though collectively wasn't good, the ones that are individually in form have picked up injuries. In the attacking sense, fantastic. But Stinius has had a meltdown apparently, which is giving an interview and basically not in a good place with her form and all that. Shock horror. You've been crap. I don't care. People might come at me for saying this, but you've been crap since the second you walked through the door. The second you got given a starting 11 spot, you ain't been all that. So sympathy-wise, not all there. Oh dear, we are seconds away whilst the birds are going mental. Because you just wait till I go live, don't you? Being quiet, all in mind. They're always quiet off it when I'm not live. The second I go live, down here, this always happens. Abigail Byrne is today's referee as well. There's a few issues. I don't know if he's one of the good ones. I'm not going to remember now. There's a few dodgy ones. As always, when it comes to refereeing at any level. Lauren James is starting as well. We're kicking off as well. The girls at Arsenal won the toss and we're kicking off. Got to win. I think Chelsea, going into this, are going to be based on the form and all that. They've had that at home. And they're the defending champions of this as well. Back-to-back defending champions. They are going to be favourites. They're heavy favourites. Got to be, especially when you include, I keep saying about it, the form of Arsenal this season in general, really. Haven't been a fluent or usual best. And it's shown now in the league where we are and all that, and the results in certain games. Are we underway? Here we go. We'll get the scoreboard up. There we go. And we're underway. The first of two watch-alongs is underway, everyone. As you know, as for the last few years, we have been doing the League Cup finals as well for live stream watch-alongs and neutrals. Have a bit of a laugh. We're doing that again this year. And so, yeah, join us for that one. That'll be 4:20 we go live, 10 minutes before kick-off. Go over the teams quickly, allow you guys time to come back in and settle in and get ready for a final of, I don't know, it's a bit of a weird one in terms of, once it asks on the attack here. Go on, man, go on. Oh, what a save from Berger. Good save. Good save. That was going in. If the goalkeeper doesn't make a save there. As I say, this season, surprisingly, our best player has been Manham. That's not a dig at Manham either. He's completely gone above and beyond this season and the performances from day one this season. Corner in. What the fuck was that? Oh dear. And Chelsea's trying to come away, but now we're just being scrappy in the midfield trying to get the ball back. Which we are, and the ref didn't give. I'm surprised the ref didn't give a foul there. The worst thing, in one sense, the worst thing for Arsenal to do now is score early because it's at Chelsea, Emma Hayes. And we did that. We took the lead last time we played them in the league and we ended up drawing still. You could argue on that day in particular, back in January, after the winter break, we were a better team on the day, but obviously we got the points, and then since then the performances have been a bit Obviously we've got a cup final to look forward to next weekend against Chelsea again, so it's a bit of it's just weird. What are the odds? Arsenal, Chelsea make to the League Cup final, play an FA Cup game each after that, the next game. Both get through comfortably, by the way. And then they get drawn against each other the week before the final. What a surprise. No match fixing there, is there? Well, no fixing the draw for this to happen. Because I say, when it comes to the Women's FA Cup, it's always been the Arsenal, Chelsea, the bigger teams always go to. They don't meet each other until the semis, at least, if not the final. So when this draw was made, and this particular draw came out, it took it from both fan bases was a bit surprised, I would say. But it's gonna be interesting. Started off with 3.5 minutes in. We have started off all right on the front foot, but we're giving away this free kick here. It's any free kick given to Chelsea. Dangerous, especially with Sam Kerr's on the pitch. Oh, there it goes across there. Right, moving it in now. Wasted it. What a waste. I'm not coming down so I can actually sit back on my sofa properly. Don't have my half dead body cat at the camera. Oh dear. I haven't given my score prediction yet, have I? In terms of my score prediction, if Arsenal to win, for Arsenal to win, I think it'll be 2-1. If Chelsea win, it's a hard one. Chelsea win, they're going to win 2-0, like 1-0 or 2-0. It'll be a scrappy affair either way. But yeah, if they win a bit, they'll have a clean sheet as well. If we win, they'll still score. But the game does get resolved today. There's none of this replay malarkey getting the men's FA Cup either. The result is done and dusted today. All right, Tom, I'll check that in a minute. No worries, Tom. I hope you're keeping well, my friends, as well. Lots of birds are going mental. Oh, dear. If you're around, Tom, if you're around later, Tom, if you're free or whatever, you want to come on for the cup final, let me know. I'll send you a link for that later. Russ might be joining us. He didn't confirm this. Hasn't confirmed yet. You must be static still. Talking about that. Yeah, no, we'll talk about that. We'll also wait for this to really get going. Basically, this game. Let's talk about Leeds. You won. You won a game and a clean sheet. Who would have thought? Actually watched match of it. The reason I didn't do much of the day last night, by the way, guys, is because obviously I wanted to watch it, watch the tribute and all that, listen to the tribute, and also the tribute to John Watson. And I was hoping that obviously might Lenny be able to give a tribute out to Stephen as well. BBC wouldn't do that, would they? But got to say, BBC did do John Watson proud there in his tribute. Get rid of it, get rid of it. Fucking hell. Yeah, John Watson, the tribute BBC did last night on Match of the Day at the start of it. Could have done a better job, basically. For once, I could actually praise the BBC and say they did a good job in there on that side of things. It's so weird. Like, pretty much my entire childhood, and up to like when we retired about 4 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, when we retired. Up to that point, John Watson was the commentator, the go-to commentator when it comes to football. Not just football, by the way. When one sec, Chelsea in attack here, get rid of it, guys. Can we please get rid of this? We're asking for trouble here. Can you get rid of it? That'd be fantastic, Leo. Just boot it, not just pass it. And now managers back into trouble. Of course, they give the ball away. Now Chelsea got Chelsea got hold of the game now. This ain't good. I'll send you a link later for the stream then, Tom, for the Man United Newcastle one. Just thought it'd be interesting. Again, neither of us got an emotional attachment to that game in terms of neither of our team was in that final. Had a bit of a laugh and talk about Leeds still. But yeah, in terms of John Watson, I was saying. Yeah. Let me know, guys, if you can hear me. One second, just a sentence. Hello. Yep, it works. So, yeah, not only was John Watson obviously the go-to commentator for football, all the major footballing events, FA Cup finals, World Cups, the big games, you name it. Some people won't know he was actually the commentator on the original series of Robot Wars. It's mad to think. Not even many people know that. I didn't know him mainly for his football, but he was a fantastic commentator. And even with Robot Wars, he brought the same enthusiasm to the job, basically. There's no one like him, and never will be, in terms of how he commentated and how well loved he was. I mean, there's a clip going around a couple of days ago when Pep first came to Premier League, Pep's first season, and he first met John Watson on a match day and all that. He's like, he's like, straight away Pep was like, you're a legend, you're known as an English legend, and we just got to talk about football, and this is like, it's just crazy that people obviously wouldn't have had such an extent, but to take that time out, and obviously John Watson to be like, no, I just want to be talking about football. Yeah. Anyway, on a happier note, the Arsenal game, this game started off all right. Arsenal sort of dominated for a few minutes, then Chelsea have dominated for the last few minutes. And that's Pep sort of, again, gone near again, like levelled out again. Weird. got a free kick. I don't know. I got from this angle. No, I didn't win the ball, so fair enough. Good spot from the ref, actually. I don't know much about referees these days. So we do this free kick as a glare on my screen. Yay. Come on, girls. Come on. Come on, something to cheer about for once. For the first time in a while, you got. Feels like forever since I've got into a game confident. I think the Man City game in particular, because even though I didn't do a watch on that weekend on that game because I forgot the dates and this, I completely messed up my end. That's my fault. The game itself was so crap. Basically, I didn't get why we'd just beaten City a few days prior, by the way, as well in the League Cup semi-final, 1-0. Took extra time, but we still done it. Why then Jonas will decide to go up to Manchester and change all the tactics to suit Manchester City. Oh, go on, Katie. Oh, Katie. Needed to go first time on the volley near post. But no, so take touch and try and get it under her feet. It's so scrappy. It's gone from literally one team dominating to the other team dominating for a few minutes each. So now it is a bit scrappy now. Oh dear. Yeah, but I was talking about Leeds Rental as well. I mentioned Match Today, Watson and all that. I watched all the highlights and all that. What's that? Obviously, as I would have done. Oh, go on. Unlucky. Would have been a good goal. Would have been a cheeky little goal there. Massive mistake from the goalkeeper that had gone in, by the way. Yeah, as I always do when I do my live streams Match Today, I watch all the highlights and all that. And in particular, Arsenal side, I looked out for the Leeds game itself. And Leeds actually looked, again, it's highlight form. We have to keep saying, I do always say that when it comes to Match Day, it is highlight form. But you look decent. But got Garcia, the new manager's just come in. He's literally just coming in this week. And he knows what he's got in terms of player-wise, personnel, and you got the best out of them. And the fact you centre back scored, it's brilliant. We got Ange in the chat. How you doing, Ange? Hope you're keeping well. Not out missed much. It's 13 minutes. It's still 0-0. We just had the best opportunity so far, but he cleared it off. Charles cleared it off the line for Chelsea. I know. I'm here. It's still 0-0. We're not losing yet. Another corner as well. Oh dear. This Madam's taking this down. Yes, he's not doing short corners. He's told, "Go away." I'm swinging it in. In front of the away fans as well. This is okay. Go on. Oh, for the love of days, he sort these corners out and quick. So scrappy in the final third from both teams, by the way. Not just digging out Arsenal here. Even when Chelsea have been attacking today, so these first few minutes, opening exchanges, they're a bit, like their nerves have got to them as well, but some of them. But it's fallen to the wrong player and they just got, ooh. But for us, it's every time we get the ball in the box, the one time we do get a shot past, it would have been for me, that's a massive, for keeper of our quality, that would have been a massive error from her. If that had gone in basically from Blacksinius. It's more luck than anything that she had played one of her defenders covering her. But it just seems like, apart from that opportunity there from Blackstinius, Milo, it just seems like the panic station's set in, and then I was like scrapping and thinking, no, I don't want the ball, you have the ball. It's like from both teams, by the way, but I'm talking from my perspective because I'm an Arsenal fan. It's a bit of a weird one so far, a bit of a weird start. You could say as well, for both teams in particular, even though Chelsea are Emma Hayes is a serial winner, she's bred that into this team. being that the next game after this, we're playing each other again next weekend in the cup final at Palace. There's got a few people on edge. Lauren James on the ball here. Have a shot. Thank God that's gone wide. That for a corner. Yeah, maybe as I say, both teams have got that sort of one eye on the cup final. Neither team wants to make any mistakes, collectively or individually, and risk being dropped for the final or giving a psychological edge to the other team, etc. It's just a bit of a weird start so far. I think that next week's final is playing a massive factor in that. Thinking about it now, say that in Chelsea School you watch. Oh dear. We've got our fixtures one second. Look. Tough. We've got a tough one coming up with other girls in terms of in general in all comps. Look at the Arsenal wrap up and look at the fixtures up for the girls. So obviously today's game, the final next week against Chelsea at Selhurst Park. The main fixtures. So you've got today's game next Sunday, then the Wednesday after that, after Sunday's final. We got on a Wednesday. We've got Liverpool at home. We should win that. Should be able to win. They've got Reading at home on the Sunday the 12th. At home, and then we've got the Champions League, our first leg away at the Allianz Arena against Bayern Munich's team, women's team. Sorry, we've got Georgia Stanway and all that on Tuesday the 21st of March. It's early kickoff as well. It's 6:15. That one. Oh, go on, Stina. Oh my days! Why do you need so many opportunities? That was that was actually that's a striker's bread and butter. Again, the massive critique of Steeners, it takes her so many opportunities to eventually get the goal on that matches normally. The worst one was Reading up start of the season away. Jesus. 30 seconds in, 1-on-1, skied it. At the shot, I'll get that back. These test the goalkeeper. In fact, just like, oh, no, bump into the stands. Does mine in a bit sometimes. Sorry, so yeah. Go away. So yeah, got Bayern Munich away, and we've got Tottenham. Oh, Northland Derby away. It's like Brisbane Road. It's not even at their main stadium or whatever. Then we've got the second leg against Bayern Munich at home at the Emirates. Then a tough end of the season here, blimey, league-wise anyway. Sunday the 2nd of April, Man City at home, Man United away on the 23rd after a bloody long break. It looks like it must be either international break or something like that. Tom saying I would love to like Arsenal to win this. Well, after we did, we did give you guys your girls a good idea in the last round. So I get, but yeah, the alternative. I'd rather, yeah, obviously as an Arsenal fan, yeah, 100%. And thank you for saying that, but I will say this: in terms of the winner of today's game, be it us or Chelsea, whoever wins this will go on to win it. In my opinion. And I'd rather it be us. I can't have 3 FA Cup finals on the bounce of being Chelsea and then winning it every time. That'd do my head in. Especially if Emma Hayes and her history with Arsenal. Well, she has history with Arsenal, but she doesn't like to acknowledge it. Oh my days! 1-0 Chelsea. Oh my God! Why are you giving her that space? Why didn't you play that space? Fuck me. Sophie Ingle with the goal, but literally, if anyone's watching this, you've got to be asking the same questions. Why is the person, I think it's Lauren James, got the pass up to her, got all the space that she had? Why has then Beth got 8 space? No one closed her down. ricocheting all over the place, and they just concentrate getting back in position and there's ball watching. Literally no one. Leah doesn't know no closing down. Raphael does no closing down. None of them. Pathetic. Completely left Zinsberger completely exposed there. So annoying. Told you. Told if we win this, that Chelsea will score. So they've done that bit, Chelsea. Now we've got to come back and do our bit. Oh, bloody hell. Fucking gut wrencher that is. If we at least tried to close it down and block, I wouldn't be going the way I've done there and had a go. It's a fact that they just stood there 10 yards away from her and let her just have the shot off. Seriously, picks again, red and white. It ain't that hard to pick out. Sure. Oh, days. I mean, literally, she just breezed past Raphael, Lauren James, and then no one closes her down. She passes it off to Sophie Ingle, and there's Kate McCabe, Leah Williamson, Seth Cately. They've all, amongst others, because they've all closed her down there. They put some pressure on her. No. 10 yards of space either side of every player I mentioned there. And she just passes it into the goal. And as I say, completely left Zinsberger exposed to try and make them a worldly save. She obviously, to be fair to Zinsberger, she tried to get across, but didn't get down across quick enough. BX is in the chat. Big up BX. How you doing, my friend? Must be early over where you are, aren't they? Was it? It's just gone to, is it? Oh, how's that not doing anyway? Might as well keep everyone updated on the Premier League game today as well, between the Scum and the other Scum. But still 0-0. Sure, it's half time and it's 0. Half time? Yeah, half time 0-0. Who been sent off? It's gone off here, one second. I'm trying to keep the fucking foot. Looks like it was a sort of first. Then the hand slips. It slides up towards his face. Difficult to say it was intentionally confident in his first stuff. His hand still slips up there, and you've got to send him off. Oh, Ziyech was initially red carded and then got rescinded basically. Old shock over there. Chelsea getting bailed out. The men's team getting bailed out by VAR. What are the stats on that game actually? 0-0 at half time, but what are the stats for that? Is that the toilet bowl as well? Look at the stats. 43% of Tottenham possession was to 57%. Bloody hell. I'm glad I'm not watching this game. As in Tottenham v Chelsea. 3 shots from Tottenham, none on target. Get rid of it. Don't be calm and collected. You're 1-0 down. You've made mistakes. Let's sort this out now. Chelsea, 4 shots, 1 on target. Beautiful. I mean, when Sky picked this fixture as well, neither team was in. Well, Chelsea especially wasn't in great form. I know it's a big London derby for both sets of fans and all the clubs, whatever. Big London derby and all that jazz. I get that, but they must have known it would be a poor game on a cup final weekend to get people ready and stoked up for the final, neutrals or whatever as well. Of all the games to pick, you pick the worst one of the weekend. Literally, based on form. even back when they picked these fixtures based on form, it was the worst fixture to pick. The form's got both teams' form, especially Chelsea's form's got even worse. So something needs to change in this game, though. Yeah, Chelsea got 1-0 up. They've had one opportunity since going 1-0 up to double their lead. We sort of snuffed it out, but Chelsea are sort of letting us have the ball now when they're suffocating as well. They're not just added, but they're going boom, 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 boom. Tactically, something has to change from us to for the girls to get proper control of this and beat that press. It was just won the ball, but it's passing itself is just so slow. It's just like we'll run into trouble if we have to. The pass isn't made until every player surrounding it's made, and it's like really. I mean, no one's getting open. The players further up the pitch are just standing in position, but they're formation wise, and no one's moving. They're waiting for the ball to come to them, even though they're surrounded by Chelsea players. It's completely bizarre. That's one of my main frustrations, not just with the women's team, and men's, and sometimes the men's team as well, but in football in general. I watch it as a neutral sometimes, and I'm thinking, the reason nothing worked for you because you're not moving. If you moved, you're moving. The defence is moving. The opposition is moving. And everything that's stretching. You open up holes for your teammates to then work out and basically cause a bit of havoc, so to say. We've got another corner here. We ain't done nothing. All these corners need to improve as well. You actually need to beat the first player and actually pick up a player in red and white and not blue. He's on to the corner now. We'll pick the first player. Keeper gets two hands to it. There's no one there. I mean, keeper gets a fist to it. It scrapes off her hand and goes out. It goes out towards the edge of the box. I think it was Steph Katie it falls to. I think. It's just a swipe at it. Or was it Raphael? One of the two. Has a swipe at it. But there's no one there in the box moving towards it to actually, have a shot. But they've got another corner, but it's at the point now. Just make movements. It's so easy to defend against. I hate being like this, by the way, in these watchdogs. Deal with that later. Oh dear. I mean, beat the first player, but picked the player in blue out. So again, red and white and blue. How can you not get that? So easy. And Leah's doing the work again. He's been playing in defence. He's the one up there. So he's further up than fucking the striker, Blackstenius there. Give me strength. According to the others, we don't need a striker. Even though we ain't got Beth for the rest of the season, we haven't got Viv for the rest of the season. Viv is only just barely starting to walk again after ACL surgery. Beth's obviously a month and a half ahead of her because obviously when she had got her injury and all that. But we ain't got either of them first of the season. And in January, in the window, all he did was buy midfielders. He didn't buy a striker. The one thing we needed more than anything was bodies in our attack as a wingers, a right winger to cover Beth, a natural one, and a striker. He addressed neither position there. He neglected and went to the deadline day. We're going to make a record-breaking bid to one of our league rivals for their best player, and in the hope that they're going to, in the title race, they're going to give us their best player. Like that was going to happen. But guys, we tried. Cough. If that was genuine, I'm sorry, that's genuine. Why won't we making that bid and getting that dealt with from day one in the window in terms of Russo? The thing is, the pundits and all at the time, after window closed, all said after the next game afterwards, oh, Van Blackstenius, so she must be so disappointed at Arsenal looking for another striker. Well, maybe if she's consistent enough and she wasn't so unreliable, and plus we didn't have injuries as well, if we didn't have all that to contend with, we wouldn't be looking at anyone in the first place. As he is, to be honest, yes, she scored a winning goal in the league, the semi-final. Don't get me wrong, but again, even today, two opportunities. One, she did her best. It was cleared off the line basically. Second one, bread and butter, skies it into the stands. Doesn't even test the goalkeeper. God, can we make one of these corners count, please? When I say count, I actually mean pick an Arsenal player out and test the goalkeeper. It's clear on the screen, by the way. All in. Nothing done. Another wasted corner. How many corners have we got? We've had how many corners and we've wasted every single one. Not one's tested. Got Chelsea goalkeeper Berger. Oh, there you go. There you go, Tom. FA Cup Live, the men's one, 5th round on Tuesday. Fulham v Leeds. Okay. Might do a stream for you for that one if you want. If I'm not busy. Well, I should be busy, don't think about it. And then next weekend the final. Yay. Go by this game. Not great. It's a 3 o'clock kickoff. So fuck. Oh, I'll be bundle of nerves next Sunday. Yay. Oh, is that clash with the men's team? Can't do. Bournemouth play on Arsenal play Bournemouth. The men's team play Bournemouth on Saturday, don't they? It's all bloody news. There's a one bugbear last season. Every now and then you had the clashes, and it's like had to do one fast stream. Oh, Man City v Newcastle. Go on, Newcastle. Come on, Newcastle next Saturday. We're all Newcastle fans at 12:30, by the way. Next Saturday. Till 2:30. We go back to being Arsenal fans again. Arsenal play Bournemouth. The next week is going to be big for Arsenal, the Arsenal men's team anyway. In terms of we've got a midweek, got a game Wednesday against the game in hand. Win that, we're 5 points clear. And then Man City play Newcastle. If Newcastle can do us a favour and we win, depending on what favour they do us, that would be really interesting. Not as we do our against Bournemouth, obviously. Steen's got a head injury. Well, he's holding head anyway. He's got a knock on her. Looks like she'll continue, but yeah, been a weird game so far. 34 minutes in, it's obviously 1-0. Still a bit of a weird one in terms of how both teams are approaching this. As I say, I think both teams have got that. More so Arsenal, by the way, got the sort of nerves of next Sunday's final in their heads, and it's obviously because we got there's more nerves on our team than theirs. Well, reason why we're not doing anything in our attacks today so far. So we're doing my heading. That one, that way. What's going on? Still looking on the screen. Bloody hell. It made no difference. Probably that curtain, hasn't it? One sec. That should go down the screen. It's really pissing me off. Everyone quiet in the chat. Am I that depressing today, guys? Oh dear. Has everyone got one eye on the other that Premier League game in London? Yeah, that's cool. What's that? Right. Cool. This Scottish Cup. Yeah, Scottish Cup. Fucking mad one today. You got you got obviously this game now. We're covering here. They're about 20 minutes away from the SPL in terms of not SPL itself, but in terms of Celtic v Rangers in the cup final for the Scottish League Cup. Please don't screw this up, Flaxstenius. Oh. 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 Why did you have the shot? You're a striker. Have the shot. Chris, oh bloody hell, BX! What did you do last night, BX? As long as it's okay to mention on here, what did you do? Don't want you get you in trouble enough, but still. Why can't the Chelsea children's team fall off at the men's team for fuck's sake? It does my head in. So yeah, you've got this game today. Look, this game on now. We've got the Tottenham versus Chelsea men's team playing. You've got from 3 o'clock Celtic v Rangers for the Scottish League Cup final at Hampden, which I can't cover because I'm doing this and then I'm doing the so it clashes anyway. And then we're also doing the English the Carabao Cup final between Man United and Newcastle. Oh dear. Caitlin Ford. Caitlin Ford actually on the pitch. I haven't seen much of her at all today so far. Might be something to do with like a glare on my screen, but still. Wish I had a Scottish match. I think you'll probably find it somewhere. Nice, you'll find it somewhere, I'm sure. Oh, Marseille versus PSG. Okay. The PSG been weird. PSG been weird this season. I know they're top of the league. I believe. Say this now. But was it last Sunday? They're playing Lille. And they literally were 2-0 up. got pegged back to 2-2. I think they were losing at 1.32. I think was it Messi scored the last minute equaliser, and then Neymar scored a last minute winner in injury time. But he's a striker. Why is he passing it? Have the shot. Test the goalie. Oh, yeah, Bethany's not a central midfielder. Marlon is, but okay. Let's have a dig at Marlon, why don't you? Yeah, Chelsea is the game plan is, especially since going 1-0 up Chelsea. We were having possession to an extent, 0-0. There's an urban flow back and forth. And ball, but okay there. Good save. Well covered. Nice to know the ref actually, or the officials spotted the handball from Sam Kerr, by the way. Ah. Phone. They fucking. How's that not a foul? Shoot! Oh, for fuck's sake! Oh, fuck off, Katie. You're pissing me off. How's that not a foul there? Take your time. Oh, because no, you didn't give me a free kick to us. You're oh, the goalkeeper's down injured. Protect the goalkeeper. Big BS. I'm telling you. Sorry, did I just hear that right? The commentator is asking the ref, basically saying the referee should put Caitlin Ford for attempt to try and score. But the ball was up in the air. You mental. Alright, yeah, of course it's fucking alright. That's a bit of a knock. It's time wasting. Fucking what I think to say from the commentator, how dare you fucking shoot, basically. Behave yourself. They're saying, but red card, what are you having a laugh? So you can't contest for a ball now. Go away. Amazing you're not pointing out the fact that Sam Kerr handled the ball. Was he won the ball back there? When they almost scored a second. You're ignoring that. I hate Steve commentating. There's extra time, you get taking a piss. They're just saying now, if we manage to get back in this game and finish it up after 90 minutes, a draw, or whatever's draw, it's 1 or 2 or whatever, it's extra. It's a go straight to penalty, it goes extra time, then pens. So there could be a literal overlap of me having to go through all that, then having to defend this to start another string, and then, yeah, oh, for God's sake. Yay, the ref's got a card out for a Chelsea player. Woo! 3 minutes injury time. I don't know where that's come from, but okay. Charles has been booked for Chelsea. How's that a red? How can you say that could have been possibly a red? She's claiming the ball. She's shielding the ball from the fucking defender. What's she to do? Don't worry. Oh no, you're near me. You have the ball. Commentators need to learn the fucking game. Oh no, got to have a agenda against Arsenal though. Come on. I'll pick it. Red and white, blue. Big difference. It ain't that hard to pick out. This is literally watching Arsenal v West Ham all over again. From a few weeks ago. Every set piece, be it free kick, corner, you name it, ball would go in, was always picking out the claret and blue instead of playing pink. It did my head in then. Anyone that didn't see that stream, go back and watch it and find out. I'm not lying. It's doing my head in again today. Red and white, blue, big difference. Sort your aim out, basically. Oh, Mark's in the chat. Mark Darby, I haven't seen you for a while, Mark. In terms of the live chats on here, how you doing? Hope you're keeping well. Looking after yourself and all that. Oh, and I'm going to hope you're enjoying the. In terms of the men's side, anyway, men's side of things, anyway, I hope you're enjoying the season, like everyone else is. Well, wasn't expecting this type of race in terms of the men's side of things, but we are where we are. Didn't realise Man City playing Newcastle next week, but hey, possibly. And for that reason, I want Newcastle to win today, because then the confidence been a sky high. They'll kick on for the Champions League spot, and I know that means they'll then kick on next season. They'll look to kick on next season because they've got the taste and they'll be in the Champions League, etc. But you know what? Their fans actually deserve. Their fans have been through. Mike Ashley, for crying out loud, that's a full stop. Mike Ashley. You're not the favourite state just because of the club's know-how of being at finals before. Whereas this is completely new for Newcastle as a whole in recent times. Oh dear. But I said since Man City got knocked out by Southampton in the quarterfinals, I've been out there and said half time on the way, just whistles just gone. Half time 1-0 down. Again, a bit of a weird one. Yeah, they're 1-0. It's not been because it's Chelsea at home and it's full strength as well. They haven't rested anyone, this, that, and the other. It's a bit how they've approached it. It's been a bit weird. Like they've got the goal itself, but even at 0-0 and then since going 1-0 up, they haven't really played to their usual best, so their usual standards. And they've let us have they've let us have a lot of the ball and set pieces yet again under Jonas. I mean, they're appalling. They are appalling. I can't remember. Well, what 7-8 corners of that in that first half. 2 or 3 free kicks across in as well. Not one of them mentioned there was picked out a Arsenal player. Always fell to a Chelsea player. But directly, I mean. And that's disappointing for me. All good, but I've just been busy with work and life, but good time. That's cool. That's cool. What are you up to today? Your day off today or just chilling? Oh, yeah. Helmet. Oh, really? Go away. Score update from the scabby side of North London. Tottenham 1, Chelsea 0. Oliver Skip scored just after half time. Right. Right. Seriously. It's Tottenham's first goal hit Chelsea at the new stadium as well, bloody hell. Midfielder hits one first time from outside the box. I'm getting really pissed off now. Beats gets a hand to it. Inside of the butt. Oh, good news. Oh! Oh. Oh. Watching Chelsea in disaster is like watching an amazing movie. Where's my popcorn? Ironically, I've got some popcorn over there. I might get some of it. Oh, the irony. Jim, you've got, what is it, toffee? I think it's toffee popcorn I've got. You might grab some for the final. Yeah. What is it? What I've got? Two. I'll switch over for a few minutes. I've got nothing else to say really on the first half, on that first half, based on that first half really. I don't want to keep repeating myself and ranting and all that as well, because that's not good for business either. So you know what, I put the Tottenham game on. It's Chelsea in attacking, wasn't it? Yao Felix, it's the bloody, was it Harry Kane or Dyer? Yeah, for half time they'll put this on, and this second half due to come start for the girls team to go back over. Oh, Zaza. I don't know. He's not the. I don't want either team to win this, by the way. But Chelsea's suffering is even. I don't know. Because of Chelsea's fans' arrogance over the last 19, 20 years, since Roman came along, I can't really enjoy it because it's Tottenham beating them today. It's like I can't enjoy this. It is what it is, though. Oh, Stuart Atwell in charge. Oh God, Stuart Atwell's in charge of this London derby. Oh my days. Who's refereeing the final, by the way? Does anyone know? What the flipping throat? Oh, some subs from Chelsea. Mason Mount's coming on. Is it Ziyech? Should take Ziyech off. Chelsea's men are useless. Shame it ain't that for the woman. Not yet. Give it time, man. Give it time. Give me some hope. Maybe next season they'll fall off. When the owner goes fully, when disaster hits, when disaster hits with the men's team come May, and I don't think it's in the European spot, and the owner craps his pants because the UEFA are coming after him. Maybe he'll put his full focus in trying to salvage something with the men's team. He takes his full focus off the women's team, and then they don't get the backing they need. And then Emma Hayes is an absolute nightmare next season on the pitch. Oh dear! Just give me some hope. Hopefully it's an eventuality that the women's team catches up with the men's team on that side of things. I need something to hope for, to strive for as a fan. Because I mean, I don't know if you're back home watching and the game itself, but in terms of our game, the FA Cup game today, it's a weird one in the sense of we haven't been dog awful in terms of letting Chelsea play their game, come at us, and cause us nothing but havoc. That's not been the case at all. The goal itself was avoidable. And I don't know if you was around when they scored and I went off on one. It was avoidable. And if you haven't seen it, you lose it, you'll see what I mean. But we've had the lion's share of the possession. We're not doing in the final third. We're lacking. We had like 8 to 9 corners in that first half. Not one of them picked out an Arsenal player directly. I mean, yeah, that's just it. London was a once in a lifetime situation, and that era is thankfully over now. Yep. Now does that get that dose of reality? Yep. I think it's even before Chelsea, like back in summer last year, back in the last season, just before Todd Bowley was picked to take over. I called it. I said this was going to happen, especially when it was emerging that it was going to be an American owner. We've been through it as Arsenal fans with an American owner ourselves. We've been through what they've started going through now, not to the same level in terms of going 10th and struggling like this to this level straight from the off. It was an eventual thing. It built up to it, but we've been there. We know how the American owners operate. They didn't want to. It's clear that they didn't want to accept it. The fact that he's then come in and spent £600 million in 8 to 9 months, and they are still struggling. They've got worse as a club. I think they've lost more games than us from last season. The Eagles, have a look. It's ridiculous. They haven't won a game in 10 games now. One win in 10 going into this game in the league. Get the table up. I said it yesterday as well after our game. Okay, that Chelsea. Oh, it's gonna be 2. No. Oh bloody hell! Oh bloody hell! Chelsea are closer to the relegation zone than they are Champions League spots. Yeah, they're 10th. They've got what? This is an as it stands table as well. So they have 9 defeats as it stands. They lose this, they'd be their 9th league defeat of the season. And we're only just getting out of February now. But the fact that he's spunked a load of money against the wall against back in the summer, it was has-beens like Sterling, with all due respect to Sterling, has-beens like Sterling, Koulibaly and all that, and Aubameyang as well. And then you've gone from that extreme of showing the old school Chelsea ways of literally just buying the over the hill players at the end of their careers to then buying young up and coming players, and then it hasn't worked. But it's the manager's fault, not the owner's fault. It's ridiculous. But I mean, as an Arsenal fan, I live next door to a Chelsea fan. So to be fair to him, he was expecting the owner to be like our owners have been over the years, to be that sort of owner. So he was fully going into it like not expecting nothing at all to come out of this in a positive sense. I'm just going to switch back over now for the girls' second half. As I say that. But hey, clearly most of them aren't of that mindset though. But we love it. Still 1-0 down that anyway. Let's just switch over. They'll come out. It's 3:00. Kicked off at 2, by the way. So it's 3:00 dead on. And the teams aren't back out yet for the second half. Back when the team was half decent actually. Adam White as a guru now. Ellen White. Oh, I've got the name now. The Man City traitor, Sir Houghton was coming through as well. We didn't have to change to Chelsea back then. Now we have. There's a referring back to we got Flatley on and referring back to the first ever WSL goal came in the Arsenal v Chelsea game. Chelsea v Arsenal, but Arsenal scored a goal back in 2010. Oh, there's Emma Hayes. The coaching staff are coming back out. Seems like they're out for some reason though. Here comes his coaching staff. All right. So the coaching staff have come out. Plays like that pitch though. Let's say that. Let's see the Chelsea team come out now. Let's see them from the far reaches of the ground. Yeah, both teams today have got one eye in that final. They are both playing within themselves. That means that we're having more of the possession, but just doing nothing with it. And we do create opportunities. Stina's either hitting it over the bar, or it's cleared, one shot cleared off the line. If it's not that, it's cleared over the bar, or she doesn't have a shot. She passes it and puts Mana into stuck basically. And then the set pieces, just we're not being corners or free kicks. We're not causing any hassle. It's too easy to defend against. Or when you think of the last set pieces, you've got a Leah Williamson, a Raphael, a Stina Blackstenius, for example, Mandem and all that. Players of height. And you pick them out. Nope. We'll try across it to smaller players on the pitch. Girls. Any subs, we see. Doesn't look like there's any subs though from either team. In this second half, about to get underway. Oh yeah. Base. I hope fucking plays at where base lays as well. It's clubs still sells second half back underway by the way, just kicking off. The clubs, all these clubs sell go on Steve to the fans, so they can clearly do wide players got to wear base layers instead of long sleeve. Arsenal attack here. Come on, girls, come on. Attack it. Oh, for God's sake, attack it. Let's just push a player over. Me. I mean, again, picking out the smallest player on the pitch because Stina's fucking going closer to the ball. The striker's not going get herself into position in the box. Oh no! So it's costing a smaller player cake for cake. Ridiculous. Ah, folks. Come on, sort yourselves out, girls, please. Don't. Well done, Kim. Oh, for God's sake, I don't give it away. Chelsea coming forward now on the attack to get the game off. Thing is, Chelsea scored it. The game would be dead, and I've got to watch it. Got either way, couldn't cover it. I've got to just go, oh, fuck this, I'm off. Because I'm on here. So it's like, oh, I can't. I'm not going to do an act and go, end the stream, end the stream. I'll have to sit here and persevere in this agony. Oh, wake up, Raphael. Raphael, technically. Seriously, 46 minutes. So start the second half, sorry. And your time based on the frame. Okay. Get in position. Stina, move. Oh, for God's sake, Stina. Why's the flag gone up? It's a deflection of the fucking Chelsea defender. He deflected. What? Okay. I don't know if it was a shot or what, but it deflects off a Chelsea defender into two Chelsea defenders into Blacksmith's path, and the flag goes up. It didn't go directly to her. Whatever Kate McCabe did wasn't going directly to Stina anyway. He toe poked it, then deflected off. From the name now. In Minnie Bright, that's it, Minnie Bright. Deflected off her, then off the captain, which then pushed it into Stina's path. So it's that's not offside. Learn the rules again, and the commentator's there backing up the official there. Learn the fucking game. Learn the rules. It's not that hard. Fell off the ball, but okay, ref, don't worry. Well, this washing machine is stopped now, thankfully. Yep. Moving the meeting now is going to cost us. And Kate needs to be careful. Booking FC, she is. Move. Fluent. Stina, can you get in position, please? Move about a bit. Stretch the defence, baby. I don't know. Do your job. Get out, Katie. Get out, Katie. Oh, God. Kate McCarry, there's so much space in the right wing there. And you try to loft it through the middle. Surrounded by Chelsea players. And very few Arsenal players. That makes sense. People trying to force the issue. Jesus. Sorry. Oh, move towards the ball. Just because the ball's coming towards you doesn't mean you have to stop and wait for it to come to you. So lazy. 4 players ahead of her, but okay, yeah, one of them was offside. Cool. Makes so much sense. One nil down, and Kate the Force doing tricks and flicks. Fantastic. Really not in the mood for this rubbish today. Really not in the mood. Again, what we're 7 minutes into the second half. It's played out the same way as the first half. In terms of they're letting us have the ball, knowing that we ain't doing nothing with it. We're posing no threat in the final third. I guarantee if we scored, their tune will suddenly change. Oh, for God's sake! Get over! Get up! Well done, Steph. No, it's not. It was the Avortia, sorry. They got over and covered her. Oh, Caitlin, you're pissing me off. It really pissed me. She's been Caitlin Ford today has been non-existent. Didn't see it at all the first half, do anything. And in the second half, she's had a few touches of the ball. From what I'm seeing, it's just giving it away. Tricks and flicks at 1-0, and then instead has passed it straight into the defender's leg. So I don't want you at it. So it's like, seriously. Personally, I think we need to, with what the options we have on the bench, get our best options off the bench basically and quick. Let's have a look at the current score updates. In and around the country. "78 minutes gone in a Tottenham game against the Chelsea men's team. Still 1-0. All comps. I want all comps. Rangers versus Celtic in the Scottish League Cups are underway and still 0-0. Man United won today as well. The women's team anyway. And yet their FA Cup game against Durham. Yeah, they get Durham, we get Chelsea. That makes sense. They won 5-0. Brighton are currently beating Coventry United 1-0. Man City on the way through, they're winning 4-0 against Bristol City, the women's team. Charlton versus Birmingham City 0-0. Obviously, this game 1-0 Chelsea. That's pathetic. Tottenham women of Durham 0-0 against Reading. Lose women beating Cardiff ladies 2-1. West Ham United women have joined 0-0 against Aston Villa. Oh, where did that go actually? Didn't check that. It's the Madrid derby. I'm assuming Real Madrid won. Because Atletico are crap this season. Oh, 1-0. There's 1-0. And Atletico and Correa got sent off. Seriously, communicate, girls, please. So painful to watch. It's not the first time I said it this season either. Now Jonas has got he got that new contract back in the last season. And he's settled in. And he's starting to put his squad together and all that. His signings and this, that, and the other, what he's inherited and what he brought in. We're now seeing a clear image of what he wants and what he's trying to do, and it's not good. Game over, 2-0. Again, avoidable. Again, mistake. Again, proves my point about Jonas. Sam Kerr with a goal. Fuck's sake, and that's us out of the FA Cup for another season. Yes, again, for the third tournament in a row, Chelsea being the ones that beat us. Be it in the final, semi-final, or fifth round. And this time, it's been pathetic from the girls. I know we ain't got Beth. I know we ain't got Viv. But it's been pathetic. Losing a 50-50 like that. And look at the space again. And why the hell is Leah Williamson running away from the attacker with the ball? What are you playing at? You don't give Sam Kerr that space. Period. The thing is, I've got to do it all again next Sunday for the final. Well, hey. Pathetic. I'm angry. I called it as well. As soon as I said 2-0, the game over. It's game over now, but both goals have been avoidable. That goal was of our own doing. They've not even had to get out of first. They've not in first gear, not in third gear. They've not even had to get out. They've not even had to get out of to get the win today. They're not even trying, and they're beating us 2-0. What does that tell you about Jonas and his tactics, and just his individual setting his team up? Injuries aside with Beth and Viv, we shouldn't be struggling like this. He's got to. I'm sorry, he's got to go. I know I've just mentioned he got a new contract back in the last season, but it's clear now he thinks he's set. Now he thinks he's okay. He's secure. He can just fuck about. It's not on anymore. It's not on. How is it? We've gone backwards. He's made. We let players go. He brought a few players in, not enough in my opinion, in the summer. I know about the fucking injuries to keep going about Beth and Viv. But again, with the players we have, the money we spend on wages and all, and the players that he bought that he's wanted, we're going backwards. If we ain't careful, and we don't get, we could finish outside the top three in general, not get Champions League football for next season. In that case, and with that, we'll lose Viv. Beth will then get touted elsewhere. Leo will be touted, and then we're going to have next to nothing. We'll start from scratch again. Kim's coming. Obviously, Kim Little's going to end of her time as well, career-wise. And we'll just be back to square one. Kate McCabe going to the last year of his contract. We'll probably lose her as well. And we'll have to rebuild all over again, all because of we've given a contract to a manager who gave us full soap last year, clearly. Now this year, this season, he has been exposed more than ever. Last season, there was a glimpse in the Bengal City game in particular. Other than that, it was pretty much Arsenal doing the Arsenal thing and winning all their game, pretty much. But this season, we've been so badly exposed. It's unbelievable. And that was even before the injuries, by the way. The signs were coming, and then it's got worse. And then, as I say, the winter window just gone, transfer window. You know we've got injured, we've got a natural white winger because I'm best out for the season. We ain't got one, so we need to address that. Did he address it? Did he? Hell. Needed a striker because Blackstone ain't stepping up and Viv's out as well. So you can't even rely on Viv because she's out as well for the rest of the season. Did he address that? No. He waited to the last day of the window to make a bid for a rival player from a rival club and expected, somewhat in his brain, expected them to go, yeah, no problem. We're strengthening you. You're a direct rival to us, but we're strengthening you halfway through the season. No problem. He didn't address the issues, and that's now why he's been exposed like you want to. He's been exposed for his management style and qualities, but the team's then been exposed because he hasn't addressed what needed to be addressed. Now, if I'm the club and I'm watching this season playing out this season, take that the equation about, as I keep mentioning, Beth and Viv's injuries here, because again the signs were there before they got their injuries individually. The signs were coming. The signs were there. They were struggling to start the season quite out now. Usually we got boom, 6-0 and all that. We weren't even doing that against the Reddings of this world and all that. We were struggling then. It's got worse. The clubs and Viv's there. Look, Viv's there with Beth and a few others. If I'm them, they're thinking, "Not talk to the agent, get us to move elsewhere." And Zuzberger's down injured. Fantastic. If I'm the club, I'm thinking, take the equation of the injuries aside here. This ain't good enough. which they've gone after Joe left. They've tried this. They've given Jonas a chance. He came in inexperienced as it was in terms of he what was it, 2 years worth of management coming to us. It was a risk in the first place at a lower standard as well. So it was a big risk. It's not working. We're now into his second season. We're going backwards. Cut your ties. I know they gave him a contract extension back end of last season, but cut your ties. Be done with it. Wash your hands of it. Go out now. Start touting now. See who's interested, who's bigger and better than what we've got in Jonas. That can not only take this team on, but bring in the right players to take us forward. So we're not going to fall away and be the team trying to get back into the top 3. We don't want to be that team that falls out this season and then struggles to get back in that top 3, or win a title, and just be that team teetering on the edge every season just to finish 4th. Andrew was on the other day. He questioned Jonas back in the last season. I was like, well, I sort of gave Jonas benefit. I gave Jonas the benefit of the doubt because he only lost 1 league game last season, and we only lost by a point. We lost up to touch by a point in the end. So I gave him the benefit of the doubt, but this ain't on anymore. This really isn't on. The fact that every big game we played this season, Chelsea at home, we played them at home now. 1-1, we'll dominate that game. Drew 1-1. Man United at home, at the Emirates, 2-1 up, 50 minutes to go, lose that 3-2. Man City the other week for the international break, go from getting points away from Man City to losing that, comfortably losing as well. There's no fight. There's no nothing. And then today, look, we've had the possession today. The lion's share of the possession been in Arsenal's favour. Done nothing with it. Not tested the goalkeeper once. Let alone their defence. And look, we're 2-0 down. 64 minutes in. We've been 2-0 down for like 10 minutes now since I've been ranting. He hasn't made a sub. He's already given up himself. On this game in particular. Go on, Kate. Go on. Oh, fuck off. Oh, of course it was offside. Yeah, we got 2 players ahead of him, but yeah, offside. Magnificent Jafar, you're right. You're right, bro. He should go since he came in. We haven't won a single trophy. Got to an FA Cup. He got us an FA Cup final. I was at that FA Cup. I thrown my bollocks off of that on the 5th of December back in 2020. And I know we didn't have Leon Williamson because he was that injured at the time. But we showed nothing in that final. He took the wrong players off in that final as well. He didn't tactically, we went 1-0 down early. Doesn't change nothing in the game. He just lets it play out. It does my head in. It does my fucking head in. We're going to get better next week by all counts as well. In the City game, we play Leo. This is another thing. I mentioned this, not just here. I mentioned it but I got slated for mentioning this, by the way, on Twitter. When I mentioned this, she doesn't. I quote. I mentioned that. Why is he experimenting? There was no need to play Leah Williamson in the last couple of games in DM, even though she does it even though she does play DM for her country. She does a good job because she's got a good manager. There's a difference. The reason she does well as a DM for her country is because she has a world-class manager that knows how to tactically set that up and make it work. Jonas isn't that. I got slated for that. No, she doesn't play DM for her country. You're deluded. Da, 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 da. And what's it? And literally, the last international break, I'll go on there now. I'll find the team sheets. She played DM for England all 3 games and scored twice. And scored twice in the last game as well. Oh, that's just something. Yeah, that makes again. It's making us up now. It's been on Pavlova, taking off Steph Coatley. So Kate McCabe's now dropping into left back. It's just nothing to change. Nothing to change the system or nothing. Just yeah. But there's no reason for him, to be honest, to do it. He tried to be smart. It backfired, and now he's gone back and playing centre back today. And she's, to be honest, she's been poor today. I mean, that second goal, as I said, she was pulling away from Sam Kerr. It was like, what the hell are you doing? But he has no reason to. He had no reason to do it. He's just trying to be a smart ass. It backfired. It's now cost us. That in itself cost us at least trying to get a total charge push for the second half of the season. It's got possibly that's also now possibly cost us top 3, the Champions League spot. The guy is clueless, and he's been, as I say, he's now been massively exposed. Not just against Emma Hayes, not just against Skinner of Man United, not just against Taylor of Man City, but West Ham the other week. We drew 0-0 to West Ham, and in the next West Ham played Chelsea in the League Cup semi-final. 4 days later, got battered 8-0 or 9-0, whatever it was, at West Ham. Absolutely obliterated. But I called out the manager because people online are like, "Oh, it's a play, it's a play." No, it's the manager, and I'm the dad apparently with some people on Twitter. Like, behave yourself, go away, look at the game. What's the one consistent? The manager. Look at the tactics. Does he change anything? No. So it's the manager then. You play Kate in the wing back. You have Pavlova sitting on the bench. Yeah, I know. I mean, what was the point of bringing in Pavlova? I know just come on now. What was the point of buying her? Craw as well. What's the point of buying them 2 players in particular if they're always being bench warmers? You hype them up online when you sign them. You do these interview pieces and all that. So when it's announced, you give your thoughts, this and the other as a manager. But you never start them. And when you do play them, it's like for 10 minutes or when the game's gone. Pathetic. And I'm getting irate because I'm sick of seeing it this season. The fact of the matter is, it's not just a big team. He's been found out against now. Paul Konchesky. It is exposing him now. If the club stick by him, they need to have a word with themselves. Come May, if they stick by him and give him another season, they need to have a word with themselves. So I'm sorry, it's not good enough. We've let other managers go for far less. That's all I'm saying. We've let better managers go for far less. That have won things, by the way, this club. Since Vic Akers did what he did for the 30 odd years he was the women's manager, the multiple league titles, FA Cups, the quadruple in 2007 of the League Cup, FA Cup, Champions League, and League in the same season. And then after he retired, his replacement won a league title, won a few FA Cups, and then was moved out after one bad season. Was moved out. Joe, a former manager, he won was it one or two FA Cups. He won of us. Won us a league title in 2019. Only losing one game as well. I think it was. I think one of the two. Yeah, it was away to Man City. It was the only game in that season we lost. Won us a league title. He was moved on after a dodgy season. And then this guy's been brought in, had a had a good season last year in terms of league position, in terms of taking down to the last day. But even then, you look at it, he did bottle it because when it came down to it, he fucking could Arsenal convince Emma Hayes to move across London. But the price was right, possibly. If Arsenal was prepared to pay her the big bucks and also match her ambition, and back her the players that she wants in, I'd say yes. But you've got to, as I say, you've got to give her what she wants, not just in her wages or whatever, but you've got to match her ambition and give her what she wants in terms of personnel on the pitch. Let her. Yeah, we got a first shot. It took 72 minutes. It's our fullback. It's a shot on target. Woo. But yeah, as I was saying referring to Tom's question, yeah. If the club goes to her and says we'll match you, we want you to come here and build a team as good as, if not better than what you've got at Chelsea. We'll give you everything you want. And as long as they do that, not just say, but then do it and prove it to her, I think you would. I think she would. But it would take a lot, based on what we're seeing. It would take a lot of convincing. Let's be honest. They're saying that Todd Bowley's manager of Chelsea, the owner of Chelsea, so it still take convincing, but not to the same level if it was Roman at the helm and all that. Because with Todd, obviously, with everything that's going on with the men's team, she might be thinking a one eye elsewhere sort of thing, maybe. But you still got to convince her that your ambition's the same as hers. Not only just that, but that's the main part. But also, then who she wants in terms of coaching staff, playing staff. The club will 100% give her the funds for it, give her the backing. Oh my God, Chelsea lost again. Talking of Chelsea, the men's team lost 2-0. Harry Kane scored the second in the 82nd minute. So that's officially now, looking at the league table, Spurs are now fourth on 45 points, but Newcastle have 2 games in hand over Spurs now because they're not playing this week because of the cup final. I'm trying to think. So yeah, Newcastle 4 points off of Newcastle. They're 2 games in hand. But Newcastle they're 4 points off of Tottenham anyway, so it's not the worst thing. And again, if Newcastle win today, pull off the miracle and do win, that could be the confidence boost that pushes them on. So yeah, Chelsea have played 24, won 8, drawn 7, lost 9, a goal difference of -2. -2. They're level on points with Unai Emery's Villa, but they're 10 points off of 8 of the relegation zone. That's mental. Imagine they get dragged into a relegation scrap. Oh, I pissed myself breaking this in the bottom up. That'd be the one thing I'd enjoy more than Arsenal, but not more than Arsenal would be. That'd be an added bonus actually. If Arsenal win the league and Chelsea finish in the bottom half of the league, just outside the relegation zone this season, perfect. But got a Hawk in the chat as well. I forgot to mention you before. Big shout out to you. Hope you're keeping well, my friend. Hope you're having a good weekend. I think Arsenal should offer 500 million, as Chelsea might appreciate. I think you might need it, would it? If they don't get Champions League. I wonder if Super Todd knows what a Chelsea women's team. Well, that could benefit us in one sense. Because we do need and I know she doesn't like to acknowledge the history of Arsenal and all that. As Vic Akers' assistant, she was being moulded as his replacement, but obviously Chelsea went professional before us and offered her the money, and obviously she hasn't knocked back since. as much as I've voiced my disdain for how she doesn't acknowledge her Arsenal history, if she was to come back, I'd welcome it with open arms. World class. She's like it or not, she is a world class manager. She would be the perfect replacement for any manager at any club, and she she would straight away get rid of the dross and the dross, the ones that the players that are not going to do what she demands of them, and she'll bring in top quality players, and we just need to convince her that we have the same ambition of where we want to be as a club at the women's level. Not just being the best domestically, but the best in Europe and win more Champions League titles along the way, adding to what we won in 2007. But there's also got to say also we will whoever you want in that's pissed me off today. Whoever you want in coaching staff, in your coaching staff setup, you can have them. We'll give you funding for that. Whoever you want in terms of personnel, player personnel, we'll back you. We'll help. We'll do our bit to get them in, 100%. Whoever you want out, we'll back you on that as well. And a general running of the women's team, the club in general, we'll back you. If we were to do that and be convincing in saying that, and actually, if we did get her in, then actually stick by our word. It's a match made, basically. It's set up. But there's a lot to do. There'll be a lot to do for her. Can't be any restrictions on our funding for someone like Emma Hayes. But as I say, either way. That's a dream scenario, that side of things. If the club were to bite the bullet come May and being off Jonas, well done, Marlon, have a shot on target, but hey, they took you 79 minutes. And the game's dead. If Arsenal were to with the club was to bite the bullet on Jonas and sack him at the end of the season, then I'm going to put this. They can't do what they did when Joe left and just go for another inexperienced or up and coming manager. It's gonna have to be an upgrade. If they don't go for Emma. They don't go and get Emma Hayes. It has to be someone still near her level. We can't have any risks like the Honest has been. Anyone I'm watching the Jake Paul versus Fury fight later? No idea when it's actually at. In terms of when it actually kicks off, I have no idea what time it's kicking off. Fast of a fight boxer, Low Island versus YouTube. Yeah. But if all due respect, if Tom Fury can't beat the YouTuber convincingly, he needs to give up the sport in general. His family need to disown him with their connections, their boxing connections. They need to just like completely out him. Like, no, you're no Fury. Go away. I'm not paying for it. I'll never pay for it. If someone's going to stream it on TikTok or something, for example, knock themselves out. Betting got Jake Paul as a favourite. Yeah, this doesn't say much, does it? Apparently there was an image going about a couple hours ago. There's an image doing the rounds on Facebook and Twitter of a leaked script for the fight where Jake Paul wins and how he's going to win it and what rounds it. Pure proper detail as well. Obviously, none of the official parties are trying to take it down or disprove it or nothing. So we're going to have to wait and see how the fight plays out, basically. By the way, Steen, the striker, only striker has just been taken off because he's non-existent. Big up Chris, by the way. Obviously, you was at the West. You mentioned before as you was going in, you was at the West Ham game yesterday. Eventually, got your money's worth in the end with 4 goals in the second half. At least you got to see a team score for yesterday in terms of score goals anyway, because your actual team. I don't know what I don't. Chris, and you're a Liverpool fan, so you have more idea than me. What is actually going on in Liverpool this season? Because at one moment it looks like you're turning a corner for a few weeks ago, and then suddenly you get battered, and we give away a 2-0 lead against Real Madrid and get battered in the end. Knocked up pretty much the tie over already with 90 minutes to go. And then yesterday it was just poor. It's just that's performance. Just did nothing. It's in Saudi Arabia, which says all you need to know. Yeah. Right. Let's have a look at the lineups for the cup final. Whilst we're waiting for this to end, this nightmare. The key to winning at Anfield this season is wearing all white kit. Oh, loved the little digs there. Right. Teams been out for a while now. So Man United are the home team apparently. De gone with De Gea in goal. Shock over there. A back 4 of Delot, Varane, Martinez, and Luke Shaw. Then got Fred and Casemiro in the pivot. And then just ahead of him, Bruno Fernandes. Got Anthony out on the wing, Marcus Rashford on the other wing, and Wout Weghorst in the striker role. And on the bench, you've got Heaton, Marcelo, Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, Maguire, Sabitzer, McTominay, Garnacho, and Sancho. So literally, that entire bench is Defence FC, barring the last 2 players I mentioned there, Garnacho and Sancho. For Man United, anyway, Newcastle, as we knew, Luis Karius, former Liverpool goalkeeper. The last time anyone probably saw Karius play live, anyway, was the Champions League final in 2019, I believe it was. Was it 2019? No, 2018. In the Champions League final against Real Madrid, and he made that mistake that led to Madrid going on to win. Since then, he's been loaned out since, playing away from England, and he's just come back. I think it was this season, and his third choice he's now playing because Pope got himself suspended, the Bradford's Cup tied, and Trippier is at fullback, Shah and Botman, the centre back, Stan Byrne, the other left is at left back. You've got midfield 3 of Sean Longstaff, Bruno Gomes back in the fold, and Joe Linton. Miguel Amaron, Callum Wilson, and Alan St. Maximin complete the front 3. Then you've got Mark Gillespie, Mark Taggart, Lascelles, Marquillo, Joe Willock, Matt Ritchie, Elliot Anderson, Jacob Murphy, and Alexander Isaac. So, be an interesting one. Hope you'll be more entertaining than this. Mr. Bungle's in the chat as well. How are you doing, Mr. Bungle? Hope you're keeping well. Hope to see you in the next stream at our 20:04. The League Cup final between Man United and Newcastle. Still back in Newcastle, even though I know the outcome means they'll kick on then, get the taste and kick on. I'd rather that than Man United win. Otherwise, you're just delaying the inevitable with Newcastle because they will kick on at some point. Oh dear, that's not. It's not a quality issue. It's signing among players. I mean, what is it? Arthur, that Arthur guy from Juventus, you signed. I think you signed him. Was it loan or either? I think it was a loan with the obligation, wasn't it? So either way, he's your player basically or whatever from Juventus back in the summer. 5 minutes in, gets injured. I mean, so you knew you had to address it. Again, the midfield again, and he did. Again, he didn't address it. It's like fucking Jonas with this fucking lot doesn't address the key areas that need addressing. I mean, Darwin, you let Mane go to Bayern Munich, didn't replace him. You brought in Darwin Núñez, an out-and-out striker. Made no sense whatsoever. And they brought in Cody Gakpo. Again, it's not really a direct replacement if you think about it for Mane. It makes no sense. Quality players, but still. There's a big Bundesliga game at the same time as the Carabao Cup, is there? You say this. Let's have a look. All comps. Bundesliga. Oh yeah, top two, yeah. Bayern Munich versus FC Union Berlin. Oh. And what happens to that fucking all comp. You shut now, you're going quiet again, seriously. You went quiet and you got to speak up again, seriously. Right. Oh, Dortmund are top. Because I played a game more than I played yesterday, so okay. So if FC, for example, with Berlin would FC Union were to win today, it'd be 46 points. They'd go to the second on goal difference. They'd be joint top, but goal difference technically they would depend on their scoring actually. Basically, they'd have to batter Bayern Munich to get to top in goal difference. But either way, Bayern Munich was to win. It'd be 46, and because of their superior goal difference, they go top. Oh, I thought Dortmund were out of it, but okay. I'm sick of seeing Bayern. As a neutral, I'm sick of seeing Bayern Munich win the fucking league every season. So, why are we only trying now to score? In the last 10 minutes, we've had about 4 shots on target. Now we're suddenly testing the goalkeeper. Why you would wait to the last knock-ins? Yeah, we've literally waited now after having all the ball we've had the majority of this game. We've waited to the last 10 minutes, the game's over, to actually attempt to test the goalkeeper in their defence. Sam Kerr just told the referee to fuck off and is not getting a booking. Fantastic. 5 minutes injury time. Yay, 5 more minutes of this bullshit. Ooh. I have no idea which game to watch. Just flick back and forth. Give whatever game you pick first 10 minutes. If he's not picking up, flick over to the other one. And just until one game takes a pick, basically. It's not a dig. Well, technically, it's a dig at Liverpool. It's the fact that only the Leeds and Real Madrid have won it. Everyone's won at Anfield, I thought, this season. It feels like it anyway, the way they've been this season anyway. We don't play them until April ourselves. Oh dear. What Kate McCabe staying over this week? Can we get a late consolation, maybe? I doubt it. Marnham, way over. That sums up our day today. How are we doing on the old channel front? Of course, more so down to the fact that obviously you got game on BBC, it was on Sky. Yeah, we're not better, but it is what it is. I'll take it. Considering we're getting battered, score-wise. Oh, my days. Oh, my legs. This second was so stiff this week. I don't know why. Fucking back of it kills. I feel sorry for the fans that have paid hard-earned money to go and watch this dross today. Same again next Sunday, guys, though. For the final, for a trophy. I wonder who's going to win that. People click that. Oh, look, negative. I'm just going by what I'm seeing. FA Cup match, put me up for them better. Historically, and we're just going out of a whimper at the second round as well, or the second round of us playing in it at the early stages for the first time ever. It's like the team. No, they're acknowledging of the absence of Beth and Viv. No, Stina hasn't got. They know Stina isn't good enough to help lead the line to end the season, and just given up. Basically, it's like they're just given up. Like certain games are not big. These big games are not bothering him. Yeah, of course. First foul, and she's booked. When they make fouls, it's 2 or 3 hours later. Wasn't the booking offence, but anyway. Colonel's in the chat says, well, their women's team are good. At least their men's team's in total collapse, basically. Yeah. That's like the one positive. But the thing is that they've lost today against the men's team. Almost 3-0. Still almost 3-0 there. Even though they lost today, I can't enjoy today's one because it was that lot that beat them. They couldn't. How can you not look at the players that brought the Alpha? I mean, the Alpha is on the low, but still, he started today. Look at the players they've got. The money they've spent, and they're struggling. They can't even score against Tottenham. They made Tottenham look good by the sounds of it. I mean, Oliver Skip scores for crying out loud. When Oliver Skip was scoring against you, you'd have a word of yourself. Jesus. Even we were never that bad. And that's saying something. But then again, we didn't spend £600 million on an attack and still not be able to score. Imagine, again, fan base and in club in general, you spent £600 million pretty much on your attack inside of your game, of your team. Just pretty much both the majority. Look at the players they've brought. The majority of the players they've brought were like £600 million are attackers, and Arsenal out of the FA Cup. Done and dusted with a whimper. Anyway, as I say, the majority of the players they've brought in with that £600 million have been attacking talent, and they can't score. They just can't score. Chelsea versus Leeds on Saturday. There you go. That's a nice, easy 3 points for Leeds on Saturday then. Going by form. Chelsea will win that one, says Cheese. I don't know about that. I don't know. Was it one win in 11 now? In the league, just in the league. That's not even good. Again, look at what was it the other week when they played Dortmund in the first leg. Well, they were playing really well and they got done by Route 1 football. Boom, over the top, and the player just got the ball and just ran. Enzo Fernandez, £120 million you've spent on Enzo Fernandez, and he got outpaced and outdone completely by one player. I was like, meh. And Kepa's just like, oh, what? That's a question. What the hell's happened to Mendes? Just completely disappeared off the face of the earth. I don't think he can't be that. He can't be injured still. He's just been. I know he was injured at one point, but he can't be still injured, surely. Oh, mate, it's saying something you're relying on Kepa, and Kepa's become number one again, and you're like, oh, he's fantastic. Now he's shit again. Oh dear. But yeah, going back to this game, the game is over, as I said. Girls are out, lost 2-0. Chelsea go through, and now we'll probably go on to win the FA Cup for the third time in a row. To piss me off that bit more. And the thing is, this ain't over. 7 days' time, I'm back. We're back again for the League Cup final. And going by how this is played out today, Chelsea didn't even get out of first gear today, let alone third, second or third or whatever. They didn't even have to try, and they won. They won comfortably. That's the annoying thing. They didn't even try to cause us any problems, and they still beat us comfortably. But it is what it is. What it is, and have to take up the chin and go again and see how the girls do. I'm going to wrap things up because I'm then going to be back in about 20 minutes' time for the League Cup final between Manchester United and Newcastle. I'm going to check in with Russ, see if Russ is joining us or not. Tom will be joining us as well, so I'll be sending Tom the link as well soon on that. And we'll chat more about his massive win yesterday as well. What was that Aubameyang advert at the beginning of the season? How did it go? I'm blue. I'm back. I'm blue. It's nothing personal. It's nothing personal. I'm back, and I'm blue. On them lines anyway. So Tom, before we go, on Friday, Southampton under 21s 1, Leeds under 21s 2. On Saturday, Leeds, the men's team obviously won. The senior team won 1-0 against Southampton. And then just finished, Leeds women beat Southampton women 2-0. There you go. You got double on Southampton over the weekend. Well, treble. So where their daddy and their mummy. That is mad. What are the odds on that? All levels of your club, every level of your club playing every level of Southampton's club as well. It's crazy, but it is what it is. As I say, I'll be back in about 25 minutes, guys. So keep an eye out for that. The stream is already up, set up and ready to go. So go over now, give it a like, turn on the notifications so you don't miss the start of it, and hopefully, touch wood, we have a great cup final ahead of us, better than last year's cup final, where it was the Chelsea Liverpool. We all know how that played out. But yeah, I'll see you very, very soon, guys. And until then, as always, even though we lost today, up the Arsenal. Come on, you Gunners.